Hello everybody, I'm KC, and welcome to another edition of Let's Talk About. Today, let's talk about Bride of Discord. Yes, today we'll be talking about a fan project. And what better fan project to talk about on Valentine's Day than one of the most popular romance stories in the Brony fandom. Originally a fanfiction written by Disney Fanatic 2364, DF later adapted Bride of Discord into a 10-part audio drama. By the way, popular isn't even a little bit of an exaggeration. At the time of recording this, 4 of the Bride of Discord videos have hit over 1 million views, and the rest don't have that far to go. It's certainly not undeserved praise, but let's go more into what exactly the story is about. Now, I usually don't do the whole point-by-point thing in these videos when talking about the plot, but here I feel like I kind of have to, just because this thing is long. It clocks in at about 5.5 hours, and there is a lot to cover, particularly in the second half of this story. Without any further delay, let's start. So the story starts by showing us that in this universe, Discord managed to escape the events at the end of Return of Harmony and hides out for 3 years waiting to make his move. Part 1 and a good chunk of Part 2 are pretty much dedicated to telling us where all the characters are now in this world and what they've been up to in the 3 years Discord has been gone. Like Cadence in Shining Armor saying they're going to have a fall, like in Season 5, the Keymark Crusaders get their cutie marks, like in Season 5, and they announce this when they attend the Grand Galloping Gala with the main 6 while Discord is lurking around in the background. Like in Season 5. Are we sure the show writers aren't supposed to read fanfiction? But yeah, Discord sneaks into the gala to ambush the main 6 and take over Equestria. But not before being enamored by Fluttershy's beauty and singing voice. Now, when I first watched this, I was worried that this is where Discord's affection for Fluttershy was going to begin and end. Thankfully it doesn't, but we'll get to that later. Discord finally makes his move and causes his usual brand of chaos and Canterlot. He's also captured the princesses except Twilight and threatens to harm them if the girls try to stop him. This scene is pretty suspenseful, with some of Discord's signature humor sprinkled in. They really captured Discord's chaotic nature well, and it was a great way to end Part 2. Part 3 is where we finally get to why the series is called Bride of Discord. After some more chaos and taunting from Discord, he tries to list his demands. No one is willing to listen to him except Fluttershy, who says that they should at least hear him out. Fluttershy pretty much has the same attitude she did towards him in Keep Calm and Flutter On. Understanding, but defensive. There are a few callbacks to that episode in the series, but that was the one I probably appreciated the most. Discord then offers the safe return of the princesses in exchange for a willing bride. This was something else I was worried about when I realized the demand was coming, but by showing that he chooses that demand by realizing it's something he can't get with his magic, and something he may want more than he realizes, it works well. While no pony wants to go with him, they all agree that someone has to, since Equestria can't function without the princesses. So, a ticking clock on top of this decision? Man, this part is suspenseful. Fluttershy thinks that she should go with him because, unlike the others, there's really nothing keeping her at home, and it seems like the best solution to their problem. Which, let's be honest, it is. So we're gonna fast forward here to the scene where Fluttershy goes to Discord's cave to accept his offer. What I like about Fluttershy here is that she knows that this is the only way. She's thought of this from every angle, and is the only one willing to accept the truth that only she can go with him. But that doesn't mean she's not putting her friends' feelings into consideration. She shares a pretty heartfelt goodbye to all of her friends that is not only well done, but it goes on just as long as it needs to. It's also a great moment for all the voice actors to share an emotional moment. Except for Discord, who whisks her away to his new castle, taunting all the way. Which brings us to Part 5, and where things get good. Part 5 is dedicated to both Discord and Fluttershy trying to get used to this new arrangement. While Discord keeps trying to charm her with treasures and hollow compliments, and being kind of, well, a creeper, let's be honest, Fluttershy actually holds her own against him really well. Sure, she's scared, but she stands up to Discord. She gets the wedding postponed and calls him out when he does something that makes her really uncomfortable. This part made me realize that this is one of the best fan portrayals of Fluttershy I've ever seen. She's still scared and meek, but that's not all she is. But that doesn't mean it isn't really sad to hear her crying alone in her room in these parts. Even if Fluttershy says she doesn't like what Discord is saying to her, he doesn't really seem to care. He keeps trying the same exact things day after day. He does want Fluttershy specifically to love him, but it's for very shallow reasons. At this point, Discord sees her as a pretty face and a means to an end, and that's about it. He knows he's not doing great with her, but he just keeps convincing himself that he knows what to do and eventually she'll come around. Which is probably the best thing about this series. The romance isn't easy. So many fan romances and ships like this make two characters getting together so easy, but that's not how it should work, especially in this case. These are two very different characters, and instead of having one singular moment turn them into a couple, they're brought together under very unusual and uncomfortable circumstances, and have to learn to live with each other, which is something we'll see more of soon, but for now, Discord realizes that he doesn't know how to deal with the situation as well as he thought, so he goes to someone else for help. I'll be honest, I skipped over the scene with Fluttershy going to Zecora for advice because I didn't have much to say about it. However, I love that Discord goes to Zecora for help. This scene is just a lot of fun to me. Discord and Zecora interacting is probably something we're never going to see in canon, but this is pretty much how you'd expect it to go. Especially with Discord getting annoyed at her rhymes and riddles, despite being a riddler himself, and Zecora getting so impatient with him, she stops rhyming. Not gonna lie, that caught me off guard, but it is funny. Zecora convinces Discord to start compromising to make Fluttershy happy, making her a garden with her animals that makes Fluttershy happy enough to thank him with a hug, which certainly makes him happy. Part 6 shows us just how much that gesture affected both of them. Discord begins to develop stronger feelings for Fluttershy now that he sees her not only genuinely happy, but that he was responsible for it. Meanwhile, Fluttershy is able to have a better time with Discord now that she has a place of her own and Discord is being less forceful. Honestly, there's no better way to describe this scene in the garden than cute. I mean, look at them. They're happy and laughing and having just a good time, and it is so cute. I dare you to watch this scene and not smile. Let's go to the next scene with Applejack and Spike where they're talking about...
So, it wouldn't be weird if some pony so much older than ya happened to like ya alive?
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. Fluttershy and Discord isn't the only romance in this series. Applejack has a secret crush on Spike, while Spike is still pursuing Rarity. Okay? Honestly, I'm torn on this, because Applejack's feelings towards Spike helps her understand what Fluttershy and Discord are feeling before they do later in the story, and that understanding leads to some of her best moments in the series. But for me, the story never really gave me a reason to understand why Applejack has feelings this strong about Spike. I get it, the story is about Fluttershy and Discord, but AJ's conflict takes up quite a bit of time. I know they say she started to feel this way after the Timberwolves incident, and she does give a couple of other reasons as to Cora's place in this part, but it just didn't seem like enough to me. At least not enough to make her say that she loves him more than apples. That's serious, people. I'm not against Apple Spike, and maybe I'm missing something here, but it's just something I wish got a bit more clarity. Aside from that, I do like how comforting and supportive she is to Spike, especially in Part 7 when Spike comes crying to Applejack after finding out Rarity is going out with Fancy Pants. By the way, if you like Apple Spike, you are going to hate Rarity in this, even if she's not intentionally hurting his feelings. But let's get back to the stars of the show. Here, Fluttershy accidentally tells Discord that she's been having nightmares about him for the past 3 years, something they've mentioned quite a bit before. It's a great moment to show how much Fluttershy's attitude towards Discord has changed, but it's still not love. I'm sorry if I keep repeating myself on this point, but I just love that this relationship slowly develops, even in Discord's case. He develops feelings for Fluttershy quicker than she does, but he doesn't understand them at first, which makes sense. But Discord continues to become more kind, and both of them become more comfortable in caring towards each other.
I think I know something that might help.
And then he took me stargazing, and then we cuddled on a fluffy cloud until we fell asleep in each other's arms, and then we spent the whole day together, and then I helped him with his emotional breakdown and possible schizophrenia, and then he told me how much he loved me. Okay, about that emotional breakdown, I think now is as good a time as any to talk about the mirror. Throughout the story, Discord has had conversations with a mirrored version of himself, which is as villainous and underhanded as he was at the beginning of the story. This is actually a storytelling tool and a way of showing Discord's inner conflict that I really liked. Not only does it further emphasize how lonely Discord is, but it shows how far he comes as the story goes on, slowly turning into a kinder and gentler creature, while the mirror carries his original persona and keeps telling him he can never change. This change in Discord is further emphasized in the way he interacts with his mirrored self. In the beginning, they use terms like we and us to address each other by, but as time goes on and Discord begins to change, they start using singular pronouns for themselves and each other. It's a detail that I didn't notice right away, but it's one I appreciated. When people talk about this story, a lot of people skip over the mirror, which is a shame because it was one of the things I enjoyed the most in the series for all of these reasons. Also, it gives the voice actors some great material. Let's move on to part 8, which starts with something pretty interesting. Discord tells Fluttershy where he comes from and how he became the Lord of Chaos. This was an unexpected surprise, and it's an interesting take on Discord's potential backstory. It's implied that the blizzard that left him all alone, and apparently wiped out the rest of his kind, was caused by the Wendigos. That's actually a great concept, that the blizzard caused by the ponies fighting inadvertently created Equestria's greatest threat. Good job, guys. Good job.
I'll spare you the details of my endless wandering throughout the lands.
Yeah, I'm sure the details aren't important. So Discord says that Celestia found him and said he should use his powers for good. After some failed attempts at this, every pony, including Celestia, gets so mad at him that he takes over Equestria and... Wait, that's it? No, go back! I want to know more! I realized that this was really all we needed to know, but it's just so interesting to me. After all, the story has implied that Discord has had strong feelings for another pony. From this small story, we can infer that was Celestia. I don't think they were ever romantically involved, but I'd love to know what their relationship was like, and how they changed as certain events took place. I know fans have dozens of theories on Discord's past and origins, but this is a story that really intrigued me, and I would love to hear more. DF has written a few short stories in the Bride of Discord universe. Can this be one too? Please? After becoming more comfortable with each other, it's time for the next step in this relationship, the date. I've mentioned how much I love how this romance is paced, and this came at just the right time. It's still not love, at least not that they realize, but it's a step. A very nice step. Unfortunately, they're not alone on this date. Luna spots them when she was flying over the Everfree Forest because reasons, but she sticks around a bit to see how much Discord is changing. This scene makes Luna the only other pony besides Applejack to even consider the possibility of these two being in love, because she understands what is happening to Discord, probably better than anyone else. Luna was a good choice for an outsider opinion at this point in the story, and her perspective will come in handy later. Then there's the big kiss, which was kind of awkward, in my opinion. But the rest of Part 8 does a great job of showing how much these two have changed and how their opinions of each other have changed. Especially Discord, since this is where he realizes that he has fallen in love. And he's okay with that. So things can only get better from here, right? Well, Part 9 is Fluttershy's birthday, and all Fluttershy wants is to see her friends again. Discord is naturally apprehensive at first, but Fluttershy makes him an offer that convinces him to invite them to the castle. We'll get back to that little offer in a minute, but first, let's see how the rest of the main six are doing. It's been a month since Fluttershy left, and the girls haven't been doing great. Twilight has been trying to find a way to bring Fluttershy back so desperately that she's barely slept or left the library since. And Pinkie... Fluttershy has got my mind! ...is hopefully not developing a craving for cupcakes. But they all feel better when they finally get to see Fluttershy again. Everything seems to be going well until Fluttershy tells them what she had to say to bring them there. Naturally, her friends aren't particularly happy about Fluttershy not only having to marry him so soon, but actually defending him to them. Fluttershy's new feelings about Discord are being challenged in this moment. And what ends up happening?
So you don't... No! I don't love him! Don't love him! Don't love him!
Yep. The moment everyone realized this episode was gonna hurt. It certainly hurt Discord since he, of course, heard everything. And to be fair, he has a right to be hurt. Discord has developed strong, genuine feelings for Fluttershy, and I'm sure he was so happy when Fluttershy agreed to get married so soon, especially considering the terms of their original deal. This perspective seems to be clouded by some because of what happens later in the episode, but Fluttershy messed up too. She wanted to see her friends so badly that she bargained with Discord on an emotional level. Unintentionally, I'm sure, but that doesn't change the fact that she did, and she certainly pays for it. Not gonna lie, I was not expecting Discord's turnaround. This scene where he hypnotizes Fluttershy still gives me chills. It's creepy and unsettling, but in the best way possible. I mean, damn, Discord may be scarier here than he ever was on the show, and he only gets more out of control from here. It's pretty tough to watch Discord resort back to his old ways, but again, in the best way possible. He messes with the rest of the girls in full chaotic evil goodness. Even Applejack, who is the only one even trying to reason with him, because on some level, she understands how he feels. It's moments like that that help me forgive some of the shortcomings in the Apple Spike subplot. So what causes the spell on Fluttershy to be broken is not her closest friends being tortured or genetically manipulated, but Apple Bloom falling a few feet. Sure, why not? Of course Fluttershy isn't happy and calls Discord a monster, which sends him over the edge. Yeah, he can get worse. How much worse? Oh, not much, just trying to kill the main six that threatened Fluttershy to be his. Apparently that's not too low for him anymore. You know, I'm starting to realize why Fluttershy's mistake is overshadowed by all of this. But, you know what everything in this part has in common? It's conflict. Genuine and pretty heartbreaking conflict in a shipfic. It's so glorious. I know it's a Valentine's video, but it feels like Christmas. I'm sorry, I know a lot of people got really angry at this part, but I just thought it was fantastic. This isn't an easy relationship that they grow into without consequence. It's challenging. I've praised how well-paced the relationship has been in this story, and it would have been so easy to just keep it on that steady pace up to the happy ending, but I'll tell you this. If this part didn't happen, I would not be doing this review. But the best scene in this part for me is where Discord accidentally hits Fluttershy, realizes what he's done, and lets her go. It's such a powerful and emotional scene that really surprised me. A moment that, for an audio drama, didn't have to be conveyed in too many words to be incredibly effective. This part puts these two through a test that they unfortunately fail. But that's not a writing flaw. Let's face it, we all know how the story's going to end. But this part actually makes you question how they could come back together after an experience like that. Part 10 shows us just how well these two are doing without each other, which is actually not very well. Discord is so lonely that his mirrored self is back, but he's so depressed that he doesn't seem to care. Fluttershy is upset, but doesn't think she should care about Discord after what happened. It's not until she has a dream of Discord dying, and then talking to Luna about her situation, that she even considers that she might miss him. She still needs some more convincing later, but this is still a good scene. Though I'm interested to know if this dream was just Fluttershy's worst fear personified, or if Luna was going all for whom the sweetie belle tolls on Fluttershy. Part 9 is where the pair have a test put in front of them that they fail. But here's the makeup test. After some more discussion with Applejack, Fluttershy realizes that she really does love Discord. And because Fluttershy declares this, and every pony in this story just likes to eavesdrop, her friends heard it. What's different this time though is that they say almost the exact same things they said last time, but she doesn't care. She just wants to go back to Discord, whether they approve or not. But considering what happened last time they fought with Fluttershy about Discord, the girls decide to be a bit more understanding this time and come with her. Once they get to the forest, a pack of timberwolves attack them, leaving Fluttershy cornered and separated from her friends. See? She's so scared her wings disappeared. But that's okay, because here comes the coolest moment in the series.
Don't you dare touch her!
Yeah! Go, Discord! Once everything calms down, Discord and Fluttershy get some time alone to get to the moment we've all been waiting for. I did really like that Fluttershy gets Discord to confess his true feelings by asking him the same question that he was asking her every night, do you love me? Which gives us a heartfelt confession of love from both of them that ends with a kiss that was much better than the last one. So a year goes by, relationships are formed, story arcs are resolved, and the wedding commences, giving every pony a happy ending. Also, Zecora may have planned this whole thing to get them together, which is too funny to even imagine. In case you can't tell, I really like this story. But before I give my overall thoughts on the project, let's go over the technicals. A big part of Bride of Discord compared to other MLP audio dramas is that it has a wide variety of artwork to go with it. Some people have complained about the inconsistencies in the art styles, but this is an audio drama. I like that they wanted to make the story feel more alive by adding so much of it, but at the end of the day, this story should work without the visuals, which it certainly seems to. The artwork itself ranges from simple yet endearing and creative to expressive and pretty show accurate, to drop dead gorgeous. Even if some of the art is better than others, clearly all of these people did put a lot of work into these pieces, and the project does seem more alive because of it. But like I said, what matters most is the audio. The voice casts were all great choices in my opinion, the supporting cast does a great job, and Pinky was really funny. The standout to me though is Disney Fanatic as Applejack. I found that doing a solid AJ voice is pretty difficult with her accent. Whenever I see a cover or a fan dub, it's never quite right to me, but that's not the case with DF. She gets a lot more to do than the rest of the supporting cast, so that may be why she stands out so much, but DF still does a great job, though it must have been pretty difficult to argue with herself as Rainbow Dash. But obviously the most important roles are our two leads. Mary Medley does a wonderful job playing Fluttershy, able to do a great impression while working with the wide range of emotions that she's given in this project. I have no trouble believing that she is Fluttershy, cause she sells it so well. Big Apple Pie was also really good as Discord. Like Mary Medley, everything he's given, he sells. From the comedy, to the taunting evil in the earlier episodes, to the sad dramatic moments, to the moments of love and sentiment. One of the reasons I thought episode 9 was so good was because Discord goes through a roller coaster of identity and emotions, and he nails it. That moment at the very end actually got me to choke up. But with all that said, we need to address this guy. Big Apple Pie was not able to reprise his role for episode 10, and while he certainly left on a high note, a replacement was needed. De Wilstonator took over the role, and in my opinion, he did a great job. Personally, I feel that Will got an unfair amount of criticism, and while I'm sure some of it was constructive and perfectly understandable, some of it just seemed to be him not being Big Apple Pie. Yeah, that's real fair, guys. Will has some great moments, like the scene in the garden and rescuing Fluttershy. While I personally don't think it was as strong as Big Apple Pie's overall, I think it's just because he was in one episode. Because Will is a good actor, and his performance in Daughter of Discord has been fantastic so far since he's had more time with the role. I'm just glad the project was able to get not one, but two great actors for Discord. On top of voice acting, there are about half a dozen parody/cover songs, all performed wonderfully. And saying anything else wouldn't do them justice, so here are some of my favorite parts.
As I create the chaos of the night, close your eyes and I'll cure you of your darkest dreams. Purge your thoughts of the beast you knew before. Spread your wings, let your feelings come alive. And together we will both skydive.
What?
I love him, but every day I'm lying that I'm fine when I am really dying. She has him, so they won't see me crying and watching their romantic lives while I sit all alone.
Forgive me, my dearest. It pains to see you sad like this. Don't think that you are forced to be my bride. Just say that you love me, so we'll live in eternal bliss and rule the land together side by side.
No!
I'll be your element of kindness. This flame inside of me has grown. You have my heart, don't break it. Here's my hooves, so take it. Care for me, for you've always known. Although our love has flown, I'll never leave you alone.
Let your thoughts run truly, then will you belong to me?
Monstrous, unforgiving, only living for revenge, all for naught. But her beauty had loved me, her goodness improved me, her beautiful soul. That's why I loved her.
Some of you may be confused about that last one. This was a deleted song from episode 10, and I'm kinda sad it was cut. I get why they changed it. 3 Discord songs in a row would have probably been too many, and Element of Kindness was a great replacement. Maybe it's just because I love the original song, but I really like this version, and I would love to hear an official cover of it one day. But overall, this is a great audio drama. The voice actors deliver wonderful performances, the music is great, and while there are additions to the sound editing that are...
It's Discord! He's getting... cold feet!
questionable, the mixing is still really good. You can hear everyone really clearly, which is more than I can say for some other fan audio dramas. But the thing that sells this is the writing. There are parts that are slow and kind of awkward, but those are problems with most fan works. The most important thing to make work in this story is the main relationship. And I totally buy that Fluttershy and Discord love each other here, which is saying a lot considering I'm really not a fan of shipping. I don't have a problem with people who participate in shipping, it's just something I don't care for. Maybe it's because I don't see it done well very often, maybe it's all my sour years in the Sonic fandom, but it takes a lot to get me invested in a shipping story, especially a ship I don't initially understand. And Fluttercore was definitely one of those. What matters to me in a story like this is if you can show me why these two should be together, and show me well. This story does that very well by showing how they became a couple, and while it's not my OTP or anything, I can see the appeal. This story takes elements from tales like Beauty and the Beast, and one called Bride of the Lindorn King, which I cannot find anywhere, but it doesn't feel like it's just telling these stories but with ponies. To me, this feels like its own story that, like many others, takes inspiration from the classics and puts their own spin on it. This is a project that really shouldn't appeal to me, but boy does it. But it's not over yet. Daughter of Discord looks like it's going to be a great follow-up story, and I look forward to seeing and reacting to more as it comes out. Until then, happy Valentine's Day, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.